Hello again. So, I had a little different idea. I've got something I want to show you because somebody mentioned it. Okay, girl, you have lost your mind. Wow. Okay, well, I'm glad we got that recorded here. I hope that shows up. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I want to do something different here. This is the Jarl Elisif. This is Imperial Agent 1992's follower, who is basically a clone of the Jarl. However your Jarl looks is what she will look like. The glass doesn't quite suit her as well as I thought it did. It clips too much with her hair. Let's fix that up.
What do you want me to carry?
And the best way I know to fix that up is to take the glass away from her and let her use the Elven. So we'll just take all the glass. And now she can use all the Elven stuff and that'll be fine.
You lead.
Okay, anyway, what was I saying? So, we have a mod that we want to look at, and it is a texture mod. Enhanced, let me read this here. It's Enhanced Texture Detail. So I want us to get a look of what we have here and try to compare it to what we're going to see and see if it actually makes a difference even in this room. And then two, I'm trying to take this in. We're going to try maybe outside, but we'll see. If we can see a big difference in here, we'll be fine. So I'm going to do a quick save here. And I'm going to go, we're going to pop out and I'll show you the mod while we're turning it on. Right now the mod was not turned on. This was without that mod. I don't have any real texture mods going on like this. I don't have any Skyland or anything loaded. So this should be a fairly good test to see if this texture detail does a lot. It sounded like they were doing something to make it, just make it better without having to be 4K. Let me see if I can find that. It's not there. I have some other things I have to check out and try out. I think some of this is going to be a surprise, so let's see how that goes. Sometimes I like surprises, but if it's a bad surprise, I don't always like it. I've had enough of those lately. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. We are going to get to clockwork. We really are. The thing is, I really need some time to do that. And then this we're going to do. But anyway, this is what we're looking at right now. The Enhanced Texture Detail by some random guy. Okay? And I forget the viewer. Somebody mentioned I should check this out. So we're going to turn this on. And we're going to go back in and see if we can tell a difference. And we're going to look around outside to see if we can tell a difference of the Blue Palace and the stonework and anything else, if we can tell a difference. It's not a very big mod. I forgot to mention that. It's not a very big mod. It's under 90 megabytes. And, they said they were doing it with some meshes, so I don't know how that works, but they said they had bunches of meshes in there, and that's supposed to make a difference, so we'll see. Obviously, it's not big enough to be like textures and everything, so. The meshes tend to be smaller. Okay, at first glance, I'm not sure I can tell a difference here. That looks the same too, the hanging moss, but the wall and everything looks the same. Maybe I should look and see what this is supposed to improve upon. I don't know if the bush and the flowers are a little better. Let's take a look at the mod description and see what it says it improves. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing, and maybe I should have read it closer. But this happens sometimes. I thought the picture showed like a stone wall. Maybe I should go out and look at the stone wall. Let's scroll down. We'll read it and see what I'm missing. If I'm being a doofus here. By the way, appreciate all the comments and everything, and I appreciate everybody. You know, we're over 200 followers, and unless a bunch of y'all, you know, unsubscribe, I've got over 200 subscriptions. So I appreciate that. Everybody, you know, just subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll try to keep putting these out. I'm trying to put out several of these every day. And we're going to look at these too, but I don't know what these do, and they have no description. So I don't know if I'll be able to actually do a spotlight for them or not. Okay, so back to the enhanced texture detail. This is not a retexture mod, and it will use your existing textures. This mod will increase texture quality for all your existing textures that you will download in the future for all objects that were edited. Mostly contains vanilla meshes and changed UV maps. This will enhance texture detail by letting the mesh faces use larger area of the loaded texture. No SMM over, okay. See, it just says it's using all textures, or that it's improving all textures. Now, I'm not trying to be a pain. Maybe this floor is better. If you look at this floor, we'll look at this again when we turn it off. So maybe this floor is better. Maybe that rug is a little better. The wall and stuff looks basically the same to me. Maybe there's just nothing to be done there. But we'll check all this out again when we turn it off. Does this part of the wall look better? I'm going to go outside and look at the stone wall anyway. But I'm just not sure. It says all textures. That makes me think everything should look better. I'm not sure if that's the case. But let's just take a look. We will look at everything within reason here. Because it says all textures, so we should see some change in everything. Because all these things have textures. Everything. Now, let's see. I'm not seeing any major things, but right now we've got it turned on. When I turn it off, I will come back and look at some of this same stuff. And maybe doing a comparison, we'll be able to see if there is really a difference. If it's a difference I can't see with my eye, then there's no point. I mean, I wear glasses, but I mean, usually I can tell if there's a difference. So, but it may take turning it, you know, I had it off, turning it on, and then turning it back off. It may take that for me to see the difference that it makes. Okay? So bear with me. We've just walked around through here and looked at this stuff. Like I said, I didn't see any difference in this. Though perhaps this one looks a little better than that one, but this one looks basically the same to me.
Stentor has a grasp of magical theory that I would never have expected from a human.
Who's running their mouth? Oh, it's this guy, yeah. He's always trying to talk to me. I really don't care anything about him. One way or the other. Once I found out he was of no use to me, I just kind of, whatever. Okay, we're going to try this. We're going to pop out. We're going to turn it back off. We're going to come back in. If I can't see any difference, I mean, no offense, and no offense to the modder. Maybe you just have better eyes than me. If I can't tell a difference, then I'm going to just move on. It is not a large mod. If you can see a difference and you like it, you should definitely use it. It's not a large mod, and there are other mods that I really just can't tell the difference in, and so for that reason I don't really use those mods. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. And this one's got to have something in it. I mean, it's 82.71 megabytes. So let's turn it off. let's go back in and let's look at the same items. Now there is a possibility, though I didn't do a save. Let's do a load and make sure. Yeah, I didn't do a save with that texture, I don't think. That's today though, isn't it? 7.5. Maybe I did do a save with that texture. Alright, let's load before that texture. We're going to load this one. This load is before that texture was installed. So I may not even have the Jarl as my follower in this one. So don't worry about that. If she's not my follower, it doesn't matter. For our purposes, that's not what we're looking at. But this game save is before that texture mod was here. Yeah, she's not my follower.
Seville Stentor
I'm not
has a
seeing
grasp of
any
magical
significant
theory that I would
difference
never
here.
have expected from a human, even a wreck.
Everything looks basically the same. I'm not seeing any drastic improvements. Now, of course, like I said, you may have better eyesight than me, but everything looks essentially the same to me.
And what might you need?
Yeah, it all looks essentially the same to me. So I will also do a reset and come back in. That means, unfortunately, doing that means that we're going to get a second video just to prove this, that it's that texture is not sitting in memory and causing this to look this way. I can't tell a difference myself. So alright, so I will check that after this video, but right now I'm gonna say that I can't really see a difference. I'm not sure why that is. Perhaps I'm not using the mod correctly, though textures usually go at the bottom. Let me read that mod description. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is I don't have any texture mods for walls and floors. See, the floor still looks the same. I think this is the way it always looks. Let me go to first person. I think this is the way it always looks. So I don't think there's any vast improvement here. She looks basically the same. Which I don't know, it did say all textures. Let's go back and look at the mod description again. Maybe I need to shift this up, and I don't mind doing that. Maybe I need to move this up. Maybe it said to put it above textures. And maybe I'm a doofus and did not read closely enough. Let's see. We'll increase the quality, enhance the detail. Before this mod, you would need, okay, recommended load order. Okay, so after SM, but before all your textures. Okay, so I'm not using an SMM, so I would imagine if I put it before my textures, I would be in good shape. So let's hop out and do that, because we're not seeing any difference, and maybe it's just me being a doofus, okay? But it might change the way she looks, because, you know, part of her, that's a skin texture. Let's see what happens. Let's hop out. Sorry you have to kind of witness the experimentation. I thought this was going to be a simple pop in and out, check it out type of mod. And if it crashed us, then I was just going to move on and probably not even bother. But it's not crashing. It's just not really looking like it does anything. But that could be my fault again. I always want to stress that I'm not trying to say, like I keep saying, I'm not an expert. I'm just, I'm just trying to use mods to improve my game. And then I'm trying to use mods here to hopefully show other people things they can do to improve their game. Now all my textures are right there. I don't really have a lot of textures. I have those textures, and for some reason this map counts as a texture. I'm not even going to try to figure that out, but I'm just telling you that that's the truth. That counts as a texture. Let's see what happens. These are the only textures I have though. Maybe that's my problem. Does it improve vanilla textures? It should. It sounds like it should improve vanilla textures, but I couldn't tell any difference. Let's go back and try again. We're just going to continue from the last save because it really doesn't matter which game it is if we can't tell a difference anyway. This might be one of those where I need to reset and come back in, so we may do that. But I hate to break it up and do 2 videos on you if it's not needed or it's unnecessary. I can't tell any difference in them. I can't tell any difference in the floor. See, when you say all textures, I think you mean all textures. I'm not sure if the flower looks any better or not. Well, alright. I've tried it. I'm not really seeing a huge difference. Let's do a reset and come back in. That means this is going to be on a separate video because I don't really have any combining. There's her mess that she made. Oh, I wonder where the platter went. Oh, there it is. Anyway, so I'm going to try that, but I don't know what it's going to do. We may or may not see any difference just by resetting, but I'm going to do it and reset and clear the cache so that the textures. I don't have any textures though. I just don't think this is going to make any difference for me. Maybe it would if I was doing other textures.
Has a grasp of magical theory that I would never have expected from a human, even a Breton.
I thought it would improve even the vanilla ones, so sorry if this turns out to be a bust. Then you'll know that you'll just, have to try it out and see if it's anything you want. So let me do a reset and I will come back. So there'll be a part 2 to this. For right now, thanks for watching. I will catch you in a few minutes, really.